Alright, gonna take this one step at a time. So, I'm gonna go over points, scoring, and where to score from on each map. On each side of this map. I think this is gonna really help me in the long run. But for right now, I'm just gonna paint the spots where the clams spawn first. But I will also pick these up because having clams here in the back at the start can be quite troublesome. So cause I need clams to spawn here when I do this. So we're gonna keep this nice and painted. Plus, looking on the map, it'll tell me where the clams are exactly and how many's up on each side of the map. So this will definitely be useful. I'm just gonna again paint these up. Paint this real quickly too. Um, I guess I'll paint this even though I don't really need to, but I guess I'll do it anyway. Actually, yeah, I will paint this because this is gonna be much beneficial for what I'm about to showcase. All right, so the way it works, this is just the basics, of course. Clams are worth 3 points. You need 8 total to make a power clam, which is what I have now, and a power clam is worth 20 points. However, if you have 7 clams, you do the math, 7 times 3 is 21. That means you now have 21 points, which is more scoring power when you want to KO. So having 7 clams on each side for each person on the team plus a power clam, so you would have 21, 21, 21. You do that math, that's going to be 63 total plus the 20 from the power clam, which is 83. And if you do the math, 83 from 100 is going to be 17. So that brings your score down to quite a lot. But if we do it that way in terms of numbers, keep in mind the penalty is going to be half of what you scored. So if I throw it in this power clam right now, that's already 20 points. I have 4 clams, that's 23, 26, 29, 32. Now I'm at 3 more points, so 35, that's 38, 41. Now we got 44, 47, 50. So 50 now. 53, 56, 59. Now we're at 62, 65, 68. If we were to just leave it off at that, 68, half of that would be 34. So if we do the math correctly, we're at 34 points in penalty. So 32 plus the 34 would be 66. So arguably, if we wanted to quickly KO this, we would need 3 power clams plus 2 smaller clams, and that would instantly KO the game. However, having that many power clams means that we are giving away too much position from 3 out of 4 players. There's too much information being given to the enemy team, so making a power clam, I think 1 would be enough for now. If we do that, that knocks our penalty down to 14, and 32 plus 14 is 46. But to finish that, we would need to have more power clams. So if I was to do that, grab 2 more. Again, grab this. To make rotations a lot easier, I'm just gonna grab clams and score them based off the meter of the actual thing it's at the actual basket itself. So if it gets to half, just throw in 2 to fully reset it. If it gets down to like 3/4, I would just throw in 3, but I made a power clam by accident. That brings it down to 14. Arguably, having a power clam would actually makes it worse because now I'm not gonna get enough claims in time. So I gotta do this again. But now we're down to 40. So we just make another power clam, wait for it to come back up. So now we're gonna bring it down to 20. So if we do this again the proper way, it's at half. So we just do 1, 2, grab more clams. If it's at 3/4 like here, we would just throw 3 in to make it full. And if it gets to 1, you can just throw 1 to keep it full, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. if it's about to, reset, I just throw in 1, 2, 3, 4, and that fully resets. So looking at it in terms of like a fraction base, that's one way you can keep the basket open. We've already KO'd, but this is just a nice little exercise to help control the manipulation of clam spawning. Again, don't make a power clam because that kind of fucks it up. But I did. The more clams are resetting back into mid. Um, but doing this does help keep control of clan economy and makes it so that clams will spawn faster on your side, making it so that you can score, and it's making it more consistent as I do this. So again, if we just do that, that's gonna be 4 just to keep it reset. It's at half now, so I need 2. Oh, I even throw it in. Okay, there we go. So there we go. It's at half now. It's about to be at half again. So 1, 2. Just to keep it longer, open for longer. That's one reason why I did it. Plus, I need to get more clams. So it's about to be at 3/4 again. But to expire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and just like that, more clams spawned. It's at half. So 1, 2. More clams have spawned over here. So I got 6. It's about to be at 3/4. So I know I just have to throw in 3. 1, 2, 3. And by just doing that, we've got more clams spawning up top here. At 3/4 again. So 1, 2, 3. More clams have spawned. It's about to be at half, so I only need to throw 2. 1, 2. I can go back and grab more clams. Now we're at 7. It's about to be at 3/4 again, so just throw in 3. 1, 2, and 3. And boom, there you go. You could grab more clams. I'm just gonna throw in 2 just to keep it open again. That way we control our clan economy and make it so that we can keep more clams from spawning in. It's about to expire, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 4 again. It's about to be at half, so again 1, 2. Grab more clams. About to go at half again, so just 1, 2. It's gonna get to like the 3/4, so I already know I need to throw like 3 clams. So again, 1, 2, 3. More clams just spawned in. Half, so just throw in 2. And look at that, more clams spawning again. So if I do this at 3/4 or at when it's about to expire, I just throw in 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is a very good exercise because again, it helps you control the manipulation of clan spawning. And again, 1, 2, 3. Now it's reset. It's at half, so 1, 2. Go back and grab more clams. I know that from this distance, by the time I get back, it's going to be at 3/4. So 1, 2, 3. Now it's full again. More clams usually respawn about this size, but I might have fucked up the rotation. But it's okay because I'm about to be at 3/4 again. I just need 3. 1, 2, 3. Go back and grab more clams. We're at 3/4 again. So 1, 2, 3. It's at half, so 1, 2. Now it's full again. Grab more clams. I can probably go back and grab more here. By the time I come back, I gotta throw in 4 clams again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Boom. I can go back and grab 3 more clams. By the time I get back, I gotta throw in 3 clams. So 1, 2, 3. And that's it. And that's really just that simple. That simple. And if I do that again, I'm at 7, and I'm at 3/4 again. So 1, 2, 3. At half, so just throwing 1, 2. More clams keep spawning in. See, this is a really good way to just keep track of your clam economy, and I do this quite often on other maps, but Eeltail has been very strange, so I'm glad I'm practicing this now. Again, about to reset, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm at 2 clams, but I got 5. I can just throw in 2 just to keep it full. I can run back here because when I run back here again, I know I'm gonna need to throw in 3 clams to keep the basket full. So 1, 2, 3, boom. And if I want to keep it open again on top mid, just throw in 2. Run back into mid. Look at that, 4 clams will respawn. It's at half, so just throw in 2. Um, so yeah, you get the idea basically. Like it's really that easy. It's at 3/4, so 1, 2, 3, and now it's back to full. Um, and it's at the 3/4 again, so 1, 2, 3. It's gonna be at 3/4 again by the time I come back. So 1, 2, 3, and it's at half. So now 1, 2, and more clams that spawn. Usually some spawn up top, but they haven't been respawning, which is weird. So 1, 2, 3, and they respawn in the same exact spot again. So 1, 2, 3. They're not there, so that's really odd. 1, 2, 3, and I just only need half of that, so that's 1, 2. One, two, three. Now it's full. Alright, so I think at this point the idea is like pretty much jammed into my head because I've done this like repeatedly over and over again, and I've meant to keep the basket open for quite a long time. Now let's talk about offensive spots and then defensive spots for this map. So if I'm over like pushing at this point and I'm on this side, if I want to hold it, so my team can keep scoring, the best thing I can do is hold bridge because I'm playing squeezer. The best part is Zuka covers up a lot of space, so I can easily like shoot these areas and deny a lot of entry. And I have lots of range, so I can shoot this part, shoot that stack there, shoot that. I can sit here on bridge and also shoot that. I still maintain my distance, but also putting on a lot of pressure in that area to keep the enemy team away. Um, and by being in this position, I can create a formation with my team where I'm able to easily rotate from left all the way back to right. But really, you don't. It's really not that bad because I can just sit here. If I really need to shoot someone that's on the stack, I do that. Um, Very easy to see because I got plenty of sight line and I have a lot of range. So this is very easy to contest and keep control of while my teammates do their thing. So one guy can be here, one guy can be there. So you have this nice little formation where it's like left, right. I'm on top of bridge, and I have Zukas, so it's very easy for me to control a lot of the space. Um, Now, as far as defending goes, if I get pushed back, the best thing I can do is rotate back over here. If I really have to, I can just keep shooting this, or if I really want to, throw a wall down, stop someone who's ever coming from this side to deny them the space. I can do the same thing on this side. If someone's pushing up on that side, but I gotta throw a wall down first just to keep that from being contested. But if it's more than one person pushing this side and they throw bombs or anything else at me, I just go back. If someone pushes this and they throw like a booyah bomb, for instance, and I have to retreat, I just go back here. I can sit on this top right stack and hold this space by just sitting here. This makes it so that no one can really push it. I can also just sit here, but I think it's much easier to come here because you get that little bit of extra what's it called? You get to push up just a little bit more. You get a little bit more inches off to just be able to push up, so you can really abuse your range. It does reach the bridge, but it's not very consistent. And of course, if I really want to get control of this back, I can use Zuka. Zuka will clear off a lot of this space. That also clears that. And it clears the left side as well if there's anyone there. So if anyone wants to push the left side, they can. And now the enemy team has to retreat back off into mid, and they lose control of the bridge. As far as like being on the bridge to stop them from getting here, the best thing I can do is probably play from here because I get to see plenty of what's happening. If it's a charger or something that can easily like remove me from the spot, I have to play low ground or go to the right side, which again is very useful because I can still sit here and see a lot of what's going on, push someone back. I can easily come back here, rotate to bridge, push this, just gotta be mindful if there's anyone pushing the stack. But if I just rotate my camera, I can easily see it, and I can see that anyone behind that wall there, and just shoot it if I really have to. Um, but if I push up here, I can just do this, and again, I can just shoot the bridge and shoot the right hand side, and that opens up a lot of space because with the Trizuka, if the enemy team does not take cover and they don't respect the Zuka, they will die. And by them not being able to occupy the space, my team can now push in on these areas, so they can push from here or they can push it from the left side. And if someone wants to, they can contest this by shooting up there or just throwing bombs. That makes it very hard for them to push back up, and this will give me space to just throw a wall down and keep shooting. So they do try to push this, I can easily like stay here with my range and throw a wall down and just shoot and kill. And the same thing applies here. If I just play from here, I just throw a wall and shoot. Because at the end of the day, these maps are mirrored, so it's pretty easy. And if I stay from here, again, I can shoot this. I can shoot this. Anyone that's trying to pump here, I can shoot this. And it gives my team a lot of access to push into mid, especially if I have my Trizuka out. So then enemy team has to respect the Trizuka, so they're not gonna just sit out in the open. And again, I can also shoot here as well, but I don't really like this side too much, but it is an option. Um, for using the Trizuka, I guess I could shoot it here, but I don't really get much out of it unless I angle it further. Um, which I think at the end of the day would be either if I just play it from here or I push up just a little bit more, throw a wall down, and then use the Trizuka. Because then I can survive a little bit longer without getting shot at. So that's always nice. Um, and again, like for if enemy team is already like pushed and I want to get in, like top left is, I mean, top right is probably the best place to go because this space is going to be very occupied. So this will be very restricted. I can't really push this. But if they're a move away from the basket, and if I just shoot here, throw a wall down, and shoot, and they back away, then I can rotate up here. I can maybe use my Zuka from here to get who's ever off bridge and just shoot here, and that will create a lot more space for my team to push up on either side. Um, so yeah, this looks pretty good. I actually quite like this. I think I'm definitely going to use this as a setup for when I'm playing in solo queue or if it's with my team. So this one's definitely going to be for the archives. But yeah, I think that's it. I think I'm done recording now. So